You watch, he'll repeat things every once in a while. He will talk to you and he will make a point, and he'll say it twice, and it's way if you have the speaking button with getting rid of your feet on. And you watch every once in a while, he will hiccup a little bit, but it's just the lesson here is a challenge in life is not an obstacle that can't be overcome. A challenge is something that you have to work hard at.
Oh, no.
You know, whatever that is. All right, guys, this was an excellent class today. They get a 5.
Yay, perfect.
They are a perfect group. This guy, like I said, we get that every day.
Have a good day, Mr. Walling. Hi, guys. I'm just letting everybody in. Give me a moment. If you want to open up the review, please, on your computers, we're going to go through it. One thing I do want to point out before we get started, I'm a little bit bummed about, is the number of people that got it done. It was due for class today, and I made that very clear multiple times. And let's see how many friends got it done ahead of class time today. Let me close up this. So you have your assignment in class today. Let me close out of this preview here, and let's take a look at, give me one moment. I'm going to pull it back over. I just want to anonymize it. Right here. Let's take a look at how many friends got it done. So if we're looking at this today, don't look at like the score, because like that doesn't, like that's not what matters. What we're looking at is how many of these boxes are filled in. So I have a lot of friends that have a lot of like these gray boxes, means they skipped them. A lot of blank boxes obviously means they didn't do it. A lot of friends that have a couple friends haven't even started it yet. Lots of blank boxes here. Not super happy about that. Those grades are, remember, going in as a completion grade. So if you have a 0%, it's going in Power School as a 0%. If you have none of it done, tomorrow morning I'm closing it, and that's what you have for your grade. So like this accuracy score isn't what I'm looking for here. What I'm looking at is how much of it you've gotten done. And there are quite a few people that haven't even started it yet or have quite a bit left to go. So that means you're going to be doing a lot of work tonight if you want to get the 100% completion grade for that. So let's take a look at, we're starting on question number 20. Let me get to where we need to be and let's get started. I'm going to, you guys can see the thing, right? Friends at home? Friends at home, you guys can see the ed puzzle, because it's, I mean, not the ed puzzle, the edge elastic. Perfect. Let's take a look. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. I'm going to actually turn the heat off as well because it's kind of hot in here. If we need it up, let me know. I can turn it back up. Okay, here we go. Let me turn my screen and let's get started. Perfect. Thanks, Abby. That's good. Yes. If you go through and you're trying on everything, even if it's all red boxes, incorrect, that's fine. I need you in. I need you attempting getting it done. So it's due tomorrow morning. So some friends are just going to have a lot of, like, if I see those, the gray boxes being not even attempted is where the problem lies. Do you guys get that? Okay. So let me open up my book. Let's take a look. We're taking a look at number, let me let Adam back in, 20. Let me let Adam back in. You can, I didn't see exactly, Naseem, but you should know because you're opening it up and you're going along with it right now. Whatever you don't have complete is where you need to keep working. Okay, so we need to find the slope between these 2 points, 6, 10, 14, 19, using the scratch pad to show your work. So on your separate piece of paper, Kyle, it needs to go away. Okay? So we are finding the slope between 2 points. When we have 2 points that we need to calculate the slope between, try refreshing it, Naseem, like close it out and go back in. If not, I'll try to troubleshoot with you at the end of the period, okay? Just follow along for now if you can't get in, okay? So I have 2 points here. we have this concept of when we're looking for the slope of a line and we're only given 2 points on the line, we want to find the difference in the rise over the difference in the run. So remember, we use that formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? And remember, my suggestion to you is when we're choosing these points to find our slope, you just go in the order they show up. 1, 2. Boom. 1, 2. The piece that needs to be consistent is either this point is number 1 or this point is number 2. You need to use the values in the same order. Okay? So if I look at this, my second y value, second coordinate y value, 19 minus my first y value, minus 10, over second x value, 14, minus first x value, 6. Okay? The slope of this is going to be 19 minus 10 is 9, over 14 minus 6 is 8. Very good. Perfect. So I have 19 eighths, and let me mark that down, Naseem. Okay, so just follow along. Awesome. So easy peasy. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is going to be that idea that we're going to use to find our slope here. Okay, so our slope would be, I would write it in here as 9, and then the little divide symbol, and then 8. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing for this guy right here, but the second one is a little bit more challenging because we have our negatives. Okay, so I'm going to move forward here. We're looking at this second one here. We're doing the same exact thing, our y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remembering, just go 1, 2. Negative 8 minus 17 over negative 2 minus negative 3. Okay? We can rewrite this bottom here as like a plus positive. That's just what I like to do because it makes a little bit more sense for me. I even did that in my book here. Negative 8 minus 17, that's like adding those numbers together and making it negative. So when you add 17 and 8, you get negative 25 over negative 2 plus positive 3 is a positive 1. So what's my slope going to be? Negative 25 over 1 is like saying what, Connor? Very good, negative 25. I would collect it either way, if you wrote it as negative 25 or if you wrote it as negative 25 and then the little divide by the 1. Both of those are correct. You just need to remember to have that negative sign there. My suggestion is you're making corrections on this review as we're going through, so that if you want to study back later tonight, you can. Okay, now we're on 21. Okay, 21 is asking us to, let me get back up to the top, graph the following equations. Okay, so when you have an equation that you need to graph, we are looking at, and we're trying to find, first off, is it in our slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. Is this equation for 21a in y equals mx plus b form? Junior said yes. Abby also says yes. Good. So then from there, my suggestion is that you write out what's your m, your slope, what's your b, y-intercept. Okay? So looking at this equation, what's my slope? Nice job. Kyle? So that would be your intercept, right? Because the number by itself is your intercept, just like Glenn said, as a y-intercept of 1. And what would be your slope? Nice job, Junior. 2, which can be written as 2 over 1 in case you want the rise and the run number. Okay? 2, which is equal to 2 over 1 rise it up 2 for every one that you run it to the right. So if you want to plot this on here, you're going to use your point. You're going to put a point on your y-axis where? 1. Very good. Nice job, Peyton. And then just like Gwen said, go up 2 over 1 to the right. And I love that you were really specific and you said to the right. Very good. So from this point here, this intercept, you're going to go up 1, 2, over to the right 1, and put it down. You can extend it 1 more if you like. Then you hit your line, the line button up top. You click on this guy and that guy, and it draws your point in. Do you guys see how we did that? Awesome. Now, if we look at the second one down here, same thing, except this time we have different slopes, obviously. What is our slope on B here? Connor? Negative 1/3. So what direction is it going to be moving? It's going to be going down. Very good. Because we're always going to be going to the right, but it's like if it's negative, we go down. If it's positive, we go up. Good. Y-intercept is? Kyle? Negative 2. Good. So on my y-axis, remember what we're going to do here. We're going to come down here. We're going to put a point on our, hit the point button. And we're going to put one where? Negative 2. Very good. Okay. And then how am I going to extend my line? What am I going to do to move it? Let's see. Anybody at home? Sadie? So we go down our numerator, and then our denominator is over right. Nice job, Junior. Nice job, Sadie. So we're going to go down 1, over to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. And then you have your 2 points here. You hit your line button, click on those 2 points, and it will draw your equation line in. Awesome job. Does anybody want me to go through again how we put the points on here and connect them? I think it's a little bit different than how we did it before, where we just had to click on the line and then you put like the intercept and the intercept. This time you have to put some points down and then connect them using the line button. Okay, let's take a look at number 21. No, 22. Okay. So we're given an equation here. Let me see if I can scroll this guy. We're given the equation and we need to find the slope and the y-intercept of the following graph. So my suggestion to you is to first look for that y-intercept. If you're looking at this graph here, what is our y-intercept? Writing it as an ordered pair, Junior. Yep, so where does it hit the y? So what number would it be? What would the actual number be? Oh, 5. You said 5. Good. And if I were to write it as an ordered pair, it would be what, comma, what? Not 2. How many you go over? So it'd be 0, comma, 5. 0 over, comma, up, over 0, up to 5 for your y-intercept. 0, comma, 5. And then you close your parentheses. Does everyone see how we did that? And why we did that? It's important that we write ordered pairs, intercepts as ordered pairs. So 0, comma, 5. That might not be a 0. Let me try that again. Looks a little bit funky, but it's fine. Then when we want to calculate our slope, this is where I suggest you use this drawing tool, this sketchpad tool, to actually help you. So everything else that we've been doing, we haven't really been doing on the sketchpad, but I think that the sketchpad for this one will be good because it will help us to sort of draw things in for ourselves. Let me zoom it. Let me scroll it up. Grab the pencil, and then we can actually write in our slope triangle here. Just so that you don't have to like write it on a piece of paper, waste that time. Just use the sketchpad tool, draw in your slope triangle where it hits perfectly. Nice. We have a rise of what? What kind of 2? What kind? -2. Very good, because it's going down in a run of. So our slope would be what number? -2. Very good. And then you can close your sketch pad and you can say your slope is negative. When you click in, you type -2 and you're good to go. Voop. Nice job on that one. Now we're finding the slope and the y-intercept of these guys here. We can find our y-intercept really easily. What's our y-intercept going to be? Oh, let me close out of it. Kyle? So how would I write that? Isn't because you're saying, because it's written as an ordered pair, because you want to be able to like tell somebody where is it, and it's at 0, 2. You can't talk about something's value on here. Like if you're talking about a specific spot, like you have to give it the x and the y so that you know exactly where it is. Does that make sense, Abby? Good. So we have our ordered pair of what, comma, what? Yep, very good. 0, comma. Let me put in my comma. -2. Very good. Very good. And close your parentheses. We want to be writing these things as ordered pairs because you need to tell me the exact x and y value to get there. Now, if we want to calculate our slope, we use that sketch pad again. Draw in our slope triangle. What's my rise? What's my run? Go ahead, Connor. Very good. So if I write it as a slope, it would be what over what? 4, 6. Very good. 4 divided by 6. You could also simplify that fraction to 2 divided by 3. I want you to write it as a fraction though, because this one is like a non-terminating decimal, and that's not going to be pretty, and you want accuracy, write it as a fraction. So that someone can easily be like, okay, it's 2/3, rise it up 2, run it over 3. Boom. Nice job. Number, goodness, let's see. 23. The following equation is written in standard form. Rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form. So we have a 3x plus y is equal to 9. Slope-intercept form means we need to get it to look like what? Y equals. Very good. So what am I going to do to each side to get that y by itself? John, help me out. Haven't heard from you all day. I need to get it to y equals. What do I do to each side? So we want to isolate, get this y by itself, so we need to move this 3x over to the other side, right? So then how would I move that whole 3x together? Exactly. Nice job. So here's the deal, is that we scaffold questions, we bring it down, and then we bring it back up. Nice job, John. We subtract 3x from each side. So the equation will now be written as y is equal to 9 minus 3x. We're going to use this equation for the next piece, where we have to identify the slope and our y-intercept. Okay? So I'm looking at this guy here. This new equation here in our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. What is my slope? You don't need the x, but it's what? -3. Very good. So when we're talking about slope, we don't want to attach that x, and we want to attach that sign that comes in front. So it's going to be a slope of -3 and a y-intercept of how much? Nice job there, Gabe, on that. And Gwen, very good. Gwen says our y-intercept is going to be 9. What do we think about saying our y-intercept is 9? Agree, disagree? Junior says he agrees. Why is it 9 and not -9? Exactly, because there's no sign there, and that means that if there's no sign, it's what type of? Positive. Very good. Nice job. Wasn't a trick question. I was just asking for clarification. Good. Nice job. We identified our slope and our intercept. Very good. Now, we're going to do the last bit of this and graph it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this equation I'm going to leave the new equation right here. If we are to graph it, what's our first step when we graph a line? Nice job, Gwen. Gwen says, what are we thinking, Sadie? The y-intercept, very good. And Gwen said that y-intercept is going to be at +9. So you hit the point button up here. And you're going to put one at 9. So you're going to come up to your y-intercept at 9. Very good. Very good. And if I want to extend this line, Junior, what are you thinking? Very good. Because this slope here of -3 can be written as -3/1. Nice job. And Gwen said the same thing. You're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. Remember, you're always going to the right. 1, 2, 3, to the right 1. Boom. Connect it. Hit your line button. Click on the 2 points that you drew in, and it draws your equation line in for you. Connor.
Another way to do it is you don't need to use a point. If you just use the line, click on your first point and click on your second, and you'll just have the 2 points, not the only one.
Good. And I just put that one on just because I like to sort of extend it. But good. Very good. Another way that you can do that. Very good, Connor. Very, very good. Okay, so C had us graphing it. And then let's see. I think there's a D down here. Okay. Yep. There was, is the point 2, 3 a solution to this equation? Let's look back at this graph here. 2, 3, is it a solution? Kyle Kelly.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
You can see there is a point right on 2, C.
Very good. So 2, 3 falls on our line, right? Very good. So the explanation why 2, 3, parentheses around it, falls on our line. Okay? That's how you explain whether or not something is a solution. When you're given a point and you're saying, is it a solution? It's either going to be, yes, it's, if the point falls on the line, or no, the point doesn't fall on the line. Nice job, Gwen. Very good. So we said yes in that little drop down, and then explaining your reasoning is that 2, 3 falls on our line. That is how we know something is a solution to an equation or a system of equations. Okay, now we're on to 24. Okay, 24 is where we're getting into systems. We're really getting in and we are solving these systems using, in this case, it's having us graph it. So let me show you, like, test-wise, how you're going to go about doing this. So what you're going to do is you're going to come onto your assessment. Let me just turn my screen around so that I can take a look at it over here. And you're going to, it says, solve the following systems by graphing using Desmos. You're going to click that word Desmos. It's going to open up, okay? It says, click on the word Desmos for the picture of the program. So you're going to get these two equations. I wrote them down. Let me just get my notebook. You should probably write them down so you don't have to flip back and forth between the tabs. Question? So then you come into Desmos and we're going to write those two equations in there. Come up to here. We're going to type in, let me just write it, y equals negative 5x plus 3. And then remember, when you want to add your second one, you come down below it and click. Second equation was 8x plus 2y equals 2. Okay? So I have my two equations here. I'm going to zoom it in just so I can sort of. And it says, what is the solution? Did I type it in wrong? I did it right? Okay. I'm just trying to see, like, where is that solution point? Oh, perfect. So when you're in Desmos, if you want to calculate where the solution to that system would be, because these guys are really close, it's not really obvious. You're going to come down to like where it would in general fall. Click on it, and now you have that coordinate of your solution. And you have to write it as a coordinate. the coordinate for the solution is going to be 2, -7. So you're going to come back into the assessment here, and you're going to find it. Obviously, B, 2, -7. Okay, nice job. I'm going to skip over the next one because it's another Desmos one. I want to do one of the substitution and then one of the elimination, and then we'll come back and do any that we have still time to do. Okay. So this is another graphing using Desmos. We'll come back to that one. We're going to go to number 26. Okay. Now this one you're not using Desmos for. This is one that you need to have work for when I go to grade it, or you're not going to get full credit. Okay. So I know that you guys can just go into Desmos and find all these solutions. That is not how we're doing it. Needs to be done. Work needs to be shown to get credit for it. To get full credit. Okay. So if we look at this guy here, we have a substitution of y equals -7x plus -4, y equals -x plus 2. What am I going to do to solve this here? If I'm using substitution, that means I have to do what? I have to, Connor?
Find an equation that says one of the variables equals something else. For example, the second equation.
Good.
Y equals -x plus 2, and substitute that in for a y in the first equation.
Exactly. You could do it either or because both of these are written as y equals. So you could take this piece right here, plug it into this one, or you could take this piece right here, plug it into this one. It's going to literally get you the same exact thing. So when you plug it in, it would look like -7x minus 4 is equal to -x plus 2. Okay? Then I need to solve this for my, well, and the first step is going to be finding our x's because we've canceled out our y's. Good, nice job, Abby. Nice job, Peyton. What am I going to have to do to each side first? Which one am I going to move? I got to get my x's all to one side, right? Yeah. But we want to, yeah, so you could do either one. You could move either one. Good. My suggestion to you, though, is you move the smaller one, right? So you could subtract a negative, you could add an x to each side, but you still have that negative, and like I literally hate negatives. So I would probably add 7x to each side. I'm not telling you need to do it that way. I'm just saying for me, for my sanity, I hate negative numbers. So that's just the way that I sort of put it off. These cancel out here. Nice job, Abby Wasta. -4 is equal to a -x plus a 7x. A +7 is going to get me how many x's? So I have 7x, and then I have like a negative, so I take it away. 6x, very good, and plus 2. Okay, I need to get my x by itself. What's my next move here? Kyle, how would I do that?
Subtract 2.
Very good. Subtract 2 from each side. I'm going to be left with, on the left side, -6 is equal to 6x. Okay, now somebody at home, what am I going to have to do to get that x by itself? Nice job, Peyton. Nice job, Gwen. We're dividing each side by a +6. We're going to say like x is equal to how much? Any number divided by itself is 1. So what kind of 1 is it going to be? -1. Very good. And you know what's kind of funny is like I did it last night and I did it fast and I just said positive. Like I forgot my negatives and I got like a positive. And then I went to check it by plugging it in and I was like, that is not right at all. So checking your signs is super duper duper important. Then we need to calculate our y. Very good, Gabe. So we need to calculate our y by plugging in our x. Which equation do you want to plug into? Connor, which one did you choose? Why? Good. Exactly. Good choice. Pick one that's simpler. Good. because that's what being a real math detective is all about, is you actually look at your equations or whatever you're doing and you put some thought behind it. You don't just stick to what, oh, Mr. Main always says pick the first one. First of all, I don't say that. Second of all, you want to look at them. Thank you, Sadie. You want to look at them and you want to be like, oh, but like this one has nicer numbers, small, crazy, don't do it. So you plug your -1 in for x, you're going to get y is equal to negative, and then make sure you put that x in parentheses, because a negative times a negative is a +2. Negative times a negative is a +1. 1 plus 2 is equal to y. Y is equal to how much? 3. This step right here, I was looking at like the few people that did it. That is where people got messed up. Is that negative and then the negative. So when you're plugging in, always put that piece in parentheses so that you don't like lose a sign if you have a sign. Do you get what I'm saying? So you always want to, when you plug in, like throw it in parentheses in case you have like a negative that you have to distribute. Does that make sense, Junior? Awesome. So my final solution is going to be what, comma, what? Very good, Sadie. Yes, girl. -1, comma 3. This guy was nice because it was sort of already put in like coordinate pair. Like you just need to throw your numbers in. There we go. -1, comma 3. Very good. Once again, I'm going to skip the next one because it's another substitution, and I want to look at the. Actually, I think it might not be a substitute. Let me see. Oh, it is? Okay. So let's look. I want to look at 27. Yes, and then the last two are elimination. Which we're going to do both of those ones because that's where most people had trouble on the quiz. So that guy is substitution. This guy is elimination. I'm looking at this guy. I'm going to rewrite it just because I like to sort of have it over here. It's kind of big, but. Okay, so we're doing elimination here. It says we have to do elimination. Well, what am I going to do here? So if we know how we were talking about levels of difficulty, which level is this guy here? Kyle?
Easy.
The easiest, the kindergarten level. Good, because what do we have to do here?
Add them.
We just add them together because they're going to, we already have a variable that's going to cancel. And which variable is that, John? Which variable is going to cancel out? The y. Very good. Because when we add them together, a -2 and a +2 cancel out. How many x's are we going to get here? -10. Nice job. -10x is equal to 3. 30. Now, getting my x by itself, divide by -10. Good job, Sadie, for getting that, keeping that negative sign attached. Good. Divide by -10. I'm going to get x is equal to -3. And I'm done. I'm done. I found the solution. Oh no, what do I have to do? I have to plug it into one of my equations and then find my x. I mean, y. Very good. So I'm going to put this -3 in here so I don't forget. Which one of these are you going to plug into? Why do you think that one, Kyle? Boom. Smaller numbers. I mean, it has some negatives, but we're multiplying by a negative, so it works. Good. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write like -2x minus 2y equals 20. And so when you go to write it in, let me show you how you're going to do it. You're going to say -2. I just said we're going to put it in parentheses, -3 minus 2y is equal to 20. Okay? -2 times -3 is 6. +6. Very good. 6 minus 2y is equal to 20. Next move, very good. Minus how much? Minus 6. I'm going to come up over here. We're going to say negative 2y is equal to, what was it, 14. Very good, Junior. Is equal to 14. Next move to get it by itself. Kyle? Very good. Divide by negative 2 is the key there. That negative 2 is important. Negative 2 divide by negative 2. Y is going to be equal to how much? Kyle? Negative 7. Very good. Y equals negative 7. Once again, this one was nice because it was already sort of given to you in the ordered pair. You just need to plug your numbers in. Making sure that you don't lose these signs. Very good there, Gwen. Perfect job. Both of these are negative. Make sure those negative signs get put in there. Okay. We're going to look at the next one now, 29, which is another elimination. And then we're going to go back and do some of the ones that we skipped. I'm going to keep this in for another second. Keeping this up here for another second for us. That is so cold. Oh. Okay, here we go. I want you looking at number 29. Okay, number 29. We got a guy here. There's really, I think there's like 2 ways that we could do this. There's 2 real difficulty levels that you could choose for this one. Connor, what were you thinking?
I was thinking of adding the equations together.
Okay. So you could like subtract so that the x's cancel, and then you would have to carry this subtraction through all the way through. What's another, very good, we could do that. What's another strategy that we could do here? Kyle?
You multiply the first equation by negative.
Oh, okay. By negative what?
2.
By negative 2, and what would you cancel out then?
Y.
The y's. Okay, so we could, there's another option. So the first option is subtract. Now their second option is multiply the first one by a negative 2. Okay, good. Is there anything else that we could do here? Abby said we can multiply one of the equations by negative 1. Nice job, Abby. Oh wait, she said by negative 1. You're right. Very good catch there, Junior. Thank you for that. Multiply 1 by negative 1. Okay. To cancel out. Very good. To cancel out those x's. Very good, Junior. Very specific. We have a lot of different options here. We've learned a lot of different ways. You are a math detective. You are choosing the way that you feel most comfortable using this idea. So if, for example, Kyle was like super ready and he said multiply 1 and then by negative 2. I love that. That's perfect. Do it if you want to do it. Multiply by negative 1. Connor, if you feel comfortable subtracting them and remembering that you need to change your signs on these things when you subtract, you can do it that way instead of multiplying by the negative 1. It's what you feel comfortable with. Which strategy do you want me to do here? What do you think? Which one do you want a little bit more work with? Multiplying by a negative 2 or multiplying by a negative 1? The negative 2? Okay. Huh? Okay, yeah, let's do the negative 2 because that one was like, I designated that one like the high school level difficulty. And I think that's probably a good way of doing it. So, who was it that said that? It was Kyle said multiply by negative 2, that first equation. 7x minus 3y equals 29. Distributing this negative 2 to all 3 terms, we get a negative 14x plus 6y is equal to how much? 29 times 2 is 58. Nice job, Agusta. Very good. And then you take in your second equation, you throw it underneath, you get a 7 You get a 7x. Let me just erase this negative so that we don't think it's there. Minus 6y is equal to 23. And we add them together. Cancel out, we get how much? How many x's? How many though? Not a positive 7. A negative 7. X is equal to 58 plus 23. 81, very good. And then I get my x by itself by doing what? Divide by negative 7, very good. What are we going to get? X is equal to, let me see. This is very, it's not. What do we get when we divide it? 0.6. Okay? What do we think? Got a little overheated, guys, sorry. Let me see. Oh, this 58 is supposed to be negative. Good catch. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. I got confused. Good. So it'd be a negative 58 plus 23. Thank you for that catch. I was like, that is not the right number. This is a positive number. Good catch there, Ian. Thank you. And Gabe, very good. Negative 58 plus 23, Mr. Main is a stinker. Gets me a negative 35. Very good. Negative 35. Good. That makes so much more sense. Divide by negative 7. Good catch there, Ian and Gabe. And we get a x is equal to? Very good. A positive 5. Very good. So an x is equal to 5. Plug it in. Nice job. I'm going to give you one little thing. All of these systems that you're going to be solving tomorrow, you're going to get positive, like whole numbers. Okay. So if you don't get a whole number, maybe take another shot. Another look. Okay? Suggestion. Good. Thank you, Gwen. She gave us that. Thank you for catching that, Gabe. She gave us our solution. So we're going to pick one of these. Which one are we going to pick to plug it into? This. Why do you think, Kyle? The first one? Because nice. Because it's nice. I like it because it has a smaller y here. I don't know. That's what I said. So then I'm going to take my negative. I'm going to take my 5. 7 times 5 minus 3y equals 29. 35 minus 3y equals 29. Minus 35. Minus 35. We're going to get negative 3y is equal to 29 minus 35. What kind of 6? Negative 6. How do I get my y by itself? Kyle? What kind of 3? Negative 3. Very good. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. Y is equal to? Very good. Nice job, both of you guys. Y is equal to a positive 2. Nice job, Gwen. Perfect, perfect. 5, 2. Okay? So like I said, on this assessment, or this mid-year check-in tomorrow, we're trying to get whole numbers. I mean, they can be negative, they can be positive, but they're all going to be like whole numbers. So be aware of that and use that as a strategy to help you sort of semi-check your work. Okay? Very nice job. Let's go back to, we're going to go back to either, do we want to do another substitution or another graphing one? What do we think? 27? Okay, perfect. So we have this guy here. It's telling us we need to do substitution. First question, do I need to do any work to either one of these equations? In theory. Why not? Huh? One more time?
You have x and y values in both of them.
Good. So I have x and y values in both of them. But the important piece with substitution is you have to have what in one of your equations? Or X equals, good. So it has to be either, you have to have one of your equations be either X equals or Y equals, good. Because that is going to allow us to substitute something in or plug it in. So which equation am I going to be plugging? Kyle?
First and the second.
The second one is going to get plugged into this first one up here. Very good. So this piece on the opposite side of the Y equals is going to get plugged into the equation for Y in the first one. So let me rewrite it. Negative 3x plus 7y equals negative 3. And then we're going to substitute it, and then I'm going to have you do it. So it's going to be negative 3x plus 7 parentheses 2x minus 2 is equal to negative 3. I want you to take 3 minutes right now to solve this guy using substitution, finding your x and your y values. Get yourself a piece of paper if you need it. I have some up here. Might be easier to do it on paper and then on the slideshow tomorrow, insert your work there. Anything else need paper? John? There you go, huh?
Pretty bad at losing.
Huh?
And I'm pretty bad at losing things.
The sketchpad is a little bit tricky, but if you want to use that as a tool, you can. I don't suggest using it tomorrow though, because it will take a lot of time. Do you need some paper?
Tomorrow, we're gonna make slides, like how we do.
Yes, but like I did with the last quiz, I'm not going to have you insert pictures as we go. I'm going to have you do it at the end, because we're going to have the whole day to we're not doing anything new tomorrow, so that we're going to give you a good chunk of time to insert that work tomorrow. So just like we did on that last quiz, you're going to be inserting your work not on the sketch pad, but on a slideshow, and you're going to be doing it afterwards again. I'm going to tell you all this tomorrow, though. Yes, so we have the 80 minutes tomorrow, and that is all the time that you have. It's not going to be as many questions as this is. I'm telling you right now. It's 15 questions, and then some of them are 2 parts, some of them are only 1 part. So we did it, and we made it so that it should take you 55 minutes if you know what you're doing, 55 to 60 minutes, so you have 20 minutes to play with. And it's going to take you the full time tomorrow. And there are going to be people that aren't going to finish, and that is okay. I want you giving 100% on the parts that you know, and I want you skipping ahead past things that you maybe need to go back to. Okay, awesome, awesome. Let's take a look at this guy here. Okay, so when I distribute here, how am I going to rewrite this equation? John, help me out. I'm going to have negative 3x
Plus 14x minus 14.
14x minus 14 is equal to negative 3. Next move here would be what? There's a couple of next moves here, but I want to hear what people are thinking for their next move here. Junior. Combine your like terms. Good. You can combine your like, you could also move that 14 and then combine. Order doesn't matter. Good. So we're going to combine here. What does it combine to, Junior?
Negative 17x.
A positive and a negative.
Negative.
Subtract them and then positive 11. 11x minus 14 is equal to negative 3. What am I doing to each side to get that y by itself next? What are we doing? Connor?
Distribute the 14 to 3.
Not distribute, but it would be
14 each side.
very good. Add 14 to each side. I know what you meant there, but good job on that. Nice. So we have a negative 3 and a positive 14 combined to
11.
positive 11.
So the y should be x.
Oh, it should be an x. Thank you. Boom. Just like, wow. Thank you for catching that. Is equal to 11x. Good. Now get my x by itself by, very good, divide by 11. And I'm going to be left with an x is equal to 1. And then I calculate my y. Which one am I going to substitute into to get your y? Kyle?
Second one,
Y.
because it has smaller numbers.
Boom. And it's in like y equals mx plus b, and it's just nicer. Okay, good. Y equals 2x minus 2. Y equals 2 times 1 minus 2. Y equals 2 minus 2. Y equals how much? 0. So I got a solution, a final solution of 1, 0. Nice job. Okay, so there are a few that I didn't go through, but everything else, the only one that I really didn't go through was that graphing one, and that is something that we have been doing for the last 2 units. Question, Connor? Oh, yes. Question, Junior? No? Okay. So, Spanish friends. One more, no, wait, we still have 3 minutes. Wait, don't leave. We still have a few minutes. I want to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're coming up from Encore, and right away, you're getting into this assessment, and we're going to start, okay? One thing I want to show you about this assessment that I want you using tomorrow, because a lot of people, when they did the quiz, they didn't understand something and they skipped past it. If you skip past something in the assessment tomorrow, what I want you to click is I want you, before you leave, if you don't know how to do it and you want to come back to it later, hit the flag so that when you go to end your test at the end, if you flag things, it takes you back to the ones you didn't do. Okay, so tomorrow in the assessment, please feel free to jump around. But if you don't do something and you go past it, you hit this bookmark so that when you come back at the end and you go to check your work, you say, oh, that guy has a flag. I need to go back. I didn't do it. Okay? That's where I found the most people lost points on that quiz was on that. Another thing, that quiz, I thought grades close on Friday. They close tomorrow. That quiz is not going to be in there for tomorrow because I still have one friend that's finishing it today. Okay? So that quiz that we did on Thursday is going to be in on the second half of the trimester. Okay? Does anybody have any questions for me about this mid-year check-in or about anything in general? If you don't finish, it's going to end after 80 minutes, and that's just the time that you have. Okay? Remembering, these are going to, so these scores, what we're thinking right now is how they're going to go in. So the scores right now are being used for 2 things. One, as an indicator for next year, should you go into geometry, yes or no? Most important, so you're giving it 100%. And then also, it's going to go on your next, like your report card, but it's not going to be weighted as anything. So it's going to be there for you to see your grade, but it's not going to be like, I don't think it's going to be weighted into your final score for the year. Does that make sense? Okay, so I need everybody giving 1,000% effort tomorrow because this is going to be a very big indicator for next year. Does everyone understand what I mean when I say that? Awesome, perfect. Friends can go to Spanish. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am going to be holding a session after school today. If you want to come in and ask me about anything at all, you can do that. Okay? I don't have anything specific planned for that meeting after school, but if you would like to come in and do that, you can. You guys can head out to Spanish. I'm going to turn my screen. Please make sure that you get this review done if you haven't gotten it done, because this is going in as a grade. Review is going in as a grade. Everything needs to be attempted. We went through all of the answers, so really everything should be correct. Like, I'm not going to be a beggar here. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to stop my share. Okay, my friends that are in now, I'm going to stop my share. You need to get into Alex, and you are working on Alex. Yes, it's a completion grade, Abby Wasta. So we are in Alex right now. If you want to work on this study guide, you can. It might be a good idea to get that done for that grade for tomorrow. Okay, nice job. Thank you, guys. I would suggest going in and getting that done, that review. I just did it, but that might be a good idea.